Hello, it is Thursday, August 10th, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Thursday crossword today, which means a themed crossword, and maybe a bit of a step up in difficulty from the past few days. That's often how it goes on Thursday. And I notice it's another crossword co-constructed by the JASA Crossword class, which is the New York-based charity, the Jewish Association Serving the Aged. They provide services to older New Yorkers, and one of the things they do is run this crossword construction class. And so Nathan Last instructs it, and I think we did one of their crosswords, one of their collaborative crosswords, just a couple of months ago. So I'm curious to see what is in store for this one. In any case, this co-created edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Josh Lucas, Alex, Laura Sexton, and, as always, the indomitable Shoalmaster and the incredible Horan family. So thank you so much to the five of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support, bringing us this series, sustaining this channel. I'm very grateful to them and to all patrons for that. Their support does make this possible. So thank you so much to those five and to everybody who is a patron at any level of the channel. I really appreciate it. And you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve, where you can, or click the link in the description field, where you can find all of the bonus videos available to patrons, including recently the most recent New York Times monthly bonus puzzle, the most recent cryptic crossword from the New York Times, and the weekly mini puzzle speed solve. All right. Also, do subscribe to the channel on YouTube if you've not gotten around to that. That is a big help, of course. And there's the Daily Solve Discord chat server, which you can join via a link in the description field underneath the video. All right, let's get on to today's crossword. I've already sort of explained who constructed it, Nathan Last in the JASA crossword class. Nathan Last, an experienced constructor with a few dozen crosswords to his name. I forget just how many from JASA. I researched this more last time it happened. I think it was maybe 8 or something at the time. I don't know. I could be off on that, but somewhere in that general neighborhood. And it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So let's start solving. All right, race that winds down in the winter, or winds down, or some kind of winds down sort of thing. I'm not sure if it's punny in that way. Most common vowel sound in English. My guess here is that it would be the schwa, which is the sort of, actually, I think vowel sort of has this, where it's just kind of this general vowel. It's almost completely elided. I hope I'm not wrong in attributing that to this sound in vowel, but anyway, we have lots of those in English. That's a little sort of nothing vowel sound, that schwa. Race that winds down the way. Oh, slalom maybe, in the sense that you wend and wind your way down a mountain, dodging the, skiing around the slalom posts or whatever they have. Okay, long line of travelers. Not sure about that one. Stored as supplies. Laden, maybe? You have a heavily laden pantry. It's stored with supplies. Not sure. Let's see. Blank Abrams roll on glee. Not sure about that one. What about this? Trail. I don't know. I was thinking of lag, or you could have a trail like a path. A trail follow somebody, maybe? Oh, I spelled slalom wrong. That was ridiculous. What on earth? I even corrected myself at the end with an M to an N and made it even more ridiculous. Okay, it was lag. It was trail for lag. Sorry about that. You must have been wondering what on earth I was doing there. Didn't even realize. Okay, so this doesn't look right. Maybe schwa or laden is incorrect. 1998 film featuring NBA star Ray Allen. Was it the cartoon basketball film? What was that called? Space Jam? No, that doesn't fit. I don't know. One of these is wrong. I'm not sure which. Nintendo Switch Forerunner. Okay, it's laden. Because the Nintendo Switch Forerunner is the Wii, Nintendo console, video game console. So stored as supplies. And all over. Blank Abrams. Ellipse. An oval is an ellipse. Oh, caravan is a long line of travelers. There you go. You could have a caravan, I don't know, winding its way through the desert or something. Okay. Oh, hang No, something air. I'm sure I'm sure I'll have heard that. I don't think I've seen the film, but I'm sure I'll recognize this when I see it. But I just can't think what it is. Something game. Let's see. Title lyric that precedes "There Will Be Days Like This" in a Shirelles classic. Right. That's Mama Said. Oh, it doesn't fit. Okay. I wonder if we have a rebus this week because that's certainly the name of this song is "Mama Said." It's a great song. But I don't know how to get it to fit in the grid. So a rebus in the New York Times crossword context anyway is when you enter an indefinite number of letters into a single cell. Well, you can enter an indefinite number of letters. Obviously, you will enter a specific number, but it could be something like this. I guess is the point I'm making. And the question people always ask in response to that is, well, how do you know when you're supposed to do that? And the answer is you don't. You have to infer it from context just by knowing that it is a possibility and more likely to occur on Thursday than any other day, but not exclusively. Okay, strike or something that can be batted. So this could also be an AS if I think there's I mean, I guess I could put in all the possibilities. This could be what am I doing? This could be in theory an AI, and this in theory could be an ID. Obviously, only one of these will be correct or none of them, and there's something else going on in the grid. That's entirely possible. But I'm just trying to think about these maybe. I don't know. That was very helpful what I just did. Excellent credit rating. Oh, well, probably AAA. A AAA credit rating as assigned by one of the credit rating agencies, maybe to the sort of, I don't know, bonds of a country or something. Okay, right. Oh, well, that would, if that is correct, that I'm sure is correct. But if my idea about the rebus is correct, that would mean the ID goes here. Dish near a water cooler. I don't know what that is, but let's just see if I can make these work. Strike, lash, to strike someone, to lash them, or something that can be batted. Oh yeah, you could bat an eyelash. Yeah, that does work. Okay. And then smart thermostat brand. Oh, Nest. Right. Yeah, I've seen those. Or at least seen them advertised. Singers or singers, it could be. Accommodations that a bank might float a loan for. Not sure about that. Familiar with. If you're up on something, you're familiar with it. Let's see if that helps. Hack off. To lop off, to chop something off. Codeine or methadone. Those are opioids, are they? Or opiate? Or is that actually what those are? I think so. Maybe there's another. I'm guessing this is one of the theme answers, so I'm wondering if there's another rebus in it. IOP is kind of an odd end to a word, though, isn't it? Oh, this could also be no, it's id. Oh, are they all going to be id? Because this one is id as well, and you could spell opioid with an id. Does that help me up here? What was the 1998 film? Maybe it's id and ego and super ego. I don't know how you'd fit super ego into here. I don't really know what I'm doing, do I? All over. Amidst. IDST, that doesn't make any sense either. Stands by. I don't know. I'm not quite getting this. A flying ace, maybe? You could have here a kind of air combat star. Dish near a water cooler. So what is this? Some kind of gossip. This doesn't really work, does it? What am I missing? I'm missing something about this. Dish near a water cooler. Office gossip? I mean, this could be OFFICE. Oh, this is ego. Oh, it's id and ego. So it's id in one direction and ego in the other. Is that what it is? In other words, I don't know if this is how we want the puzzle to be entered with all of this text in here, but I think this is how we're meant to read it. So if it's mama said going down, but then ego going, office gossip going across, we're using, in the concept that the concept, what is that? The Freudian concept of the id, the ego, and the superego. So I don't kind of doubt we're going to spell superego in here, but we have mama said down using id, office gossip across using ego. Right. So this one would be, we need an id somewhere up here. The problem is laid in, stored in supplies. Stored as supplies, id, laid in, is that something? And then hide game? Is that? I don't know. Oh, wait, no, I'm doing this wrong. Sorry. No. No, so I already forgot what I just said. It would be ego going across. So it would be, oh, he got game. I do absolutely recognize and I just couldn't think of it. Okay, so this is, I'm doing it this way just to make it kind of more visually apparent what's going on, but id ego, so he got game. This must be Artie Abrams, I guess. And then all over, oh, I see. I was thinking all over as in spread all over physically, but it's all over as in do it again, do it all over, do it anew. And then if one stands by, one waits, maybe stand by, wait, please. Durango, oh, dirección. So this would be a direction in Spanish, so norte, maybe? Let's see if that works. Back then, once. Yeah, you could say, oh, once that happened back then. Suckling on a farm could be a foal, maybe? Suckling sort of baby animal. Its home is on the range. Frying pan? On the range in a kitchen. Islands atop coral reefs are cays. There we go. Who's coming in a Laura Nyro tune? Eli. Eli's coming. Don't think I know that offhand, but it looks like it fits and it sounds right to me. Steno supplies. So this could be a stenographer, maybe a court stenographer, someone like that. Notepads? Responsibility, the onus could be on you, the responsibility could be on you. Magna Carta is a famous English law, somewhat restricting the powers of the king. Catch-all category abbreviation, miscellaneous, MISC. MSNBC competitor, CNN is a cable network in the US, as is MSNBC. Couldn't agree more. Amen, you could say. I really agree. Oh, right. Okay, here we go. With 63 across, Freudian concept of resisting temptation, or a hint to 4 squares in this puzzle. Impulse control? There we go. Okay. And that does reference the Freudian, obviously, as it says, Freudian concept. So I guess there isn't, I said I thought this might be a themed answer. I don't think there's anything about the actual answers to these clues themselves that is thematic, as it turns out. It's just the usage of this id-ego mechanic. Did it say how many times this occurs? 4, it said. Okay. So we have 2 so far, and this probably won't be 1 because that would be 3 in very close proximity. Seems unlikely. Accommodations, house something that a bank might float a loan for. House. I don't know. Not sure. Anyone born in late July or early August? Well, they must be a Leo, based on the fill. I should learn these at some point. Downturn could be a slump, you could say. There's been a bit of a downturn, a bit of a slump. Sport in a ring could be sumo, perhaps. To lament something could be to rue it. And the only person whose first and last name together is listed as an adjective in Merriam-Webster. That's interesting. Very curious what that is. So Merriam-Webster being the dictionary. So accommodations that a bank might float a loan for. I mean, this looks like house loan, but it obviously isn't because loan is in the clue. Houseboat. Oh, right, I see. They might float a loan in the financial sense, but also in this punny sense of the house itself floating on the water. Okay, houseboat. There we go. No theme involved in that. Piece of work could be a task. Immigration policy established in 2012 for short. I'm sure I would have remembered this immediately years ago, but I just have not been not been as in touch with U.S. politics in recent years. Let's see. The meeting hasn't started yet, has it? Are we on, maybe? Move the needle. I don't know if that's actually right. Let's try some. Oh, DACA, that looks right, though. That rings a bell for me. I think that actually is correct, DACA. I remember that. Okay, but I don't know about the rest of these. Move the needle. Dr. Mom's specialty for short. TLC, tender loving care, maybe? Just kind of guessing based on 3 letters with the T and the for short, meaning it's some kind of abbreviation or initialism. Media mogul whose production company is her name in reverse. That's Oprah Winfrey, whose production company is Harpo, which is her name, spelled in reverse. An expert is a professional. If you took something down, you wrote it, perhaps. Caterwaul, you could howl, you could caterwaul, make all sorts of noise. Was amused in text speak, lolled, I suppose that is. The meeting hasn't started yet, has it? Am I late? Okay, so I was completely wrong the first time, except for that A, which was helpful. Oh, to move the needle is to knit the knitting needle, of course. And then if one used acid, say, one itched? Used acid, say. Etched. Oh, etched as in acid. You could acid etch something into a surface. So, I don't know, initials or something like that. Agile and flexible. Lissom is a word meaning agile and flexible, sort of lithe. Okay, so what is this? Only person who's... Oh, right, sorry, this will be the ego. Yeah, this will be the ego bit, so I need to put that in. Right, hadn't remembered that. So, Rube Goldberg. Right. That is an adjective. In other words, a Rube Goldberg machine is one of those devices that's extraordinarily complicated and achieves only a very simple task, or sometimes nothing particularly productive at all. And Rube Goldberg, I believe, was the cartoonist who illustrated such things, and it's turned into an idea that has actually been executed in reality. And there are all sorts of people who make YouTube videos with extraordinary Rube Goldberg machines and things like that. That's interesting. Only person whose first and last name together is listed as an adjective in Merriam-Webster. That's fascinating. Okay, some investments for short. CDs, cash deposits. Greek prefix meaning equal, iso, like an isotope, for instance, or any number of other words. Nolans lunch, maybe. So this is kind of slangy or dialect representation of New Orleans. So, poor boy, a po' boy sandwich? Oh, maybe this isn't howl, but rather yowl. Right, okay, because yes, this is po' boy. That would be a tough cross if you didn't know this. If you read this, that Nolans lunch maybe, and you didn't have any sort of relevant cultural context, this would just be, it would be meaningless, essentially, I think. And which I bring up only because caterwaul, I think you could reasonably say yowl or howl are similarly valid answers. All right. Anyway, this is a po' boy sandwich, so often with shrimp, or you can get them with different things in them, but it's a sort of classic New Orleans lunch dish. Face of a 2-year-old, perhaps. A pout, maybe? Just kind of guessing there. Animal whose skull is the subject of Georgia O'Keeffe's Summer Days. Oh, is it a stag? The skull of a stag, that sounds correct to me. Yoga pose that stretches the abdominals, cobra, I suppose, based on the fill. Vice President after Jefferson, Aaron Burr. Miracle Workers Error. Never heard of this, but it looks like, I don't know actually, it could be CBS, the network, but there's also TBS, the cable network. I don't know. Okay, ones who've answered yes. Somethings to be, brides to be. You could spell brides with an ID. BRIDEST. Miracle Workers Error, TBS. Singers. Stoolies. All right. Singers in the sense of people who sing, people who tell, graphs, who tell the police about the actions of their collaborators. Digestive fluid, bile. Kind of, acidic digestive fluid. Do we have all 4? Yeah, we do. So I'll just put this in the format I have the others in. I'm curious to see if the puzzle accepts this formation of the id/ego. We'll have to find out. So deadlines, I'm not sure about that. Cup holder. A bra. Bra has cups, it holds them. Somewhat off is a jar? A rye. Yeah, if something's off, it's something a bit off, it's a rye. That's better. Long line on a face, an eyebrow, maybe? Someone who sees the big picture. So this one will have the ego. Right? Yes. Someone who sees the big picture. What was this? Did we look at this yet? Oh, no, we didn't. Nicholas, who directed The Man Who Fell to Earth. That's the film director, Nicholas Roeg. I actually don't know how that name is pronounced, but it's spelled in this manner. And deadlines could be an elegy. So you could have lines in honor of someone who's died, an elegy that is being read or sung, maybe. I guess read more accurately. Yield is to cede in, to give in, to... Maybe this isn't eyebrow. Long line on a face. What else would it be, though? Oh, unibrow. There we go. That would make it a single line. Obviously, an eyebrow could be, it could be long, I suppose, but for it to be really long, it would be a unibrow that sort of continues the whole way. All right, so yield is given. To weigh down is to bog down. I'm weighed down, I'm bogged down. Hindquarters. Hindquarters. What is the word for that? What about this one? Someone who sees the big picture. Something V-goer? I don't know what this is. Yoko from Tokyo. It is Ono, one of the official solo music artists of the New York Times crossword, Yoko Ono. All right. Oh, a moviegoer. Oh, of course, they see the big picture on the screen in front of them. A moviegoer. There we go. And then hindquarters, your bum, your rear end. Great. All right, let's keep going. Stable arrangement is a arrangement in a stable, maybe? Or stasis, maybe? Sui generis is the phrase. Blank generis was the clue there. What's added atop a croque monsieur to make it a croque madame? That would be an egg. So a croque monsieur is a kind of ham and cheese sandwich, essentially, with the bechamel sauce on top, I think. And croque madame, you have an egg on top, which is great. I really enjoy that. Certain gastropod, a sea slug. And so what is this? Stable arrangement. I don't know. I'm thinking stallion is kept in a stable, doesn't fit, doesn't have any relevance. I don't think. Phi blank college group familiarly. Phi sigma, maybe? Sig? Oh, stalls. Right. Sorry. You have stalls arranged in the stable in which the horses are kept. I don't know why that was difficult for some reason. Anyway, there we go. Yep. And that was the puzzle, and it accepted my ego/id. Sometimes it can be a bit of a guessing game to determine how exactly the people who sort of entered this puzzle into the New York Times software expect you to enter these rebus bits in. When the same cell serves as two different sort of arrangements of letters, depending on the direction, it cannot always be obvious. Ideally, it accepts anything that a reasonable person could have thought to do. In other words, just putting an ego, just putting an id, putting them both in with a slash, putting them both in, I don't know, maybe with a space or maybe just any character generically in between, as long as you get the ego id consistently. So yeah, I'd be curious to know if anybody had any trouble getting this puzzle to validate. Usually that happens with at least some people on this kind of puzzle. And we haven't seen this sort of thing in a while, actually. I can't remember. I think it's been months at least since we've seen this sort of rebus, this bidirectional sort of rebus where it varies depending on the cross and the down answers. Anyway, so here we had ego id, our Freudian impulse control concept, and it connected the concepts of laid in, and he got game. He got game is a really good way to use ego. I really like that. Moviegoer and brides to be. Mama said and office gossip. Office gossip is also impressive. I think the ego ones in general I just find impressive because they end up being very surprising. Because EGO is a fairly unusual collection of letters. And so actually it looks like in all cases they needed to split up two words. And also in all cases, yes, the word was split between the E and the GO. So that was the case, I think, in all four. And then anyway, finally we had opioid and Rube Goldberg spelled out. So very clever Thursday theme. I really enjoyed that. And that is that for today's crossword. I just realized I didn't go back and pick up the clues from yesterday's puzzle, but there was actually that I do remember that I can find quickly that I did want to read, which was a pronunciation correction by, I don't know, where was it? My pronunciation of the country Lesotho was corrected, and I was trying to find this because I wanted to credit it to the proper person. I can't find it now, so I'm sorry. I'm not sure who to credit this to. But the country, I can't remember how I pronounced it, something like Lesotho maybe, but it's properly pronounced Lesotho. So thank you to whoever it was who corrected me on that. And that's that for today's video, today's crossword. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, with the Friday crossword. No theme. We will certainly not have any of this rebus nonsense, just clue solving, and maybe a bit of a tougher puzzle. So do come back for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Thursday. Take care.